Thank you very much for joining. We have another major hurricane to contend with. This one is not Beta, it's Delta. It is moving off towards portions of the Gulf Coast again within maybe 10 to 15 miles of where Hurricane Laura hit. This is a significant wind field. As it pushes inland, it'll start to dissipate and fade away, but we're talking 70, 80, 90 plus mile per hour winds on its journey into the Gulf Coast, doing damage in areas that were already hard hit. Here is Delta as of this evening. You can see a very nice looking shape to it, a little bit of an eye here. Wrapping around it is some showers and thunderstorms as it continues to produce a very strong format to it. We've seen so many of these. 115 mile per hour winds, gusts up to 130 miles per hour. That pressure is fairly low as well. Right now off towards the northwest, but this will curve back as a Category 3 hurricane, most likely making landfall as we go throughout Friday afternoon. Here's the track on it through the overnight and through the day. We do expect it to expand a little bit in strength. It's got this like frontal feature with it on the north side, wrapping around the first area of rain. Here's the heavy stuff right there. That's a lot of heavy rain. So once it makes landfall, it'll lose a little bit of the wind threat, but certainly a flooding threat for Louisiana. But then the overall dynamics aren't super. So it could start to fall apart just a little bit and just be some moderate to briefly heavy rain as it makes its journey up towards the north. Besides that, not a ton going on. It will get a lot more active across portions of the Pacific Northwest. We'll talk a little bit more on that in a moment. Here's the rainfall with this. Lots of areas that are going to see 2-3 inches, but we do expect the main hard hit area around Louisiana to be at least a few more inches than that. Now notice off towards the north, that's with a separate frontal boundary. We're not expecting anything from Laura here. High pressure should suppress it from pretty much the Ohio Valley off towards the east in the mid-Atlantic at this point. Flipping to another precipitation type, snow. We got some colder air that'll move in across portions of Canada and portions of the Cascades into the Rockies over the next week or so. So look at that, actually starting to pile up a little bit of snow well off towards the north of the border, but starting to get there, starting to transition through our fall season. So notice not a ton in the way of heavy rain once we move across portions of the Tennessee Valley, Carolina, Virginia, but still, that's a good soaking. Some spots need it, some spots don't. Here's the next front that hopefully will bring some needed rain to portions of the Midwest Great Lakes into the Ohio Valley. Running into dry air though, so we'll see. And notice there's your snow and the rain in the lower elevations. This is part of an active pattern. That Pacific jet will be really starting to roar as we set up more of what kind of pattern we expect for this winter, that active jet stream. So there's going to be kind of waves of troughing, waves of ridging that move through, and that will allow for all this cold pent-up air in Canada to dip down as we go throughout late next week into the following weekend. This is a major trough of low pressure coming down that should descend temperatures 20s and 30s. Maybe chances of snow for the first time, at least flakes, hitting down across portions of the Great Lakes into the Northeast. Plenty of time to watch that. There's not fantastic model agreement at this point on the exact timing. Generally, we're going to be chillier than normal, but not super cold across portions of the middle of the country up into more of the Midwest. More heat. Overall, we're dealing with a good amount of widespread warmth the next week. Then we get the major cool down across portions of the middle of the country and east. Then kind of an up and down pattern with certainly more warmth headed back towards the west. That's where it's just been very dry and warm. More of that. California was supposed to get a potential significant rain event. Hardly anything coming now. That's just the stuff that we showed you across the Pacific Northwest. So active pattern. We have the snow contractor winter forecast that will be coming out within the next few days or so. That'll be a look under the hood, behind the scenes, in detail of what we're expecting and why and how it impacts the snow removal operations. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And if you are a snow contractor or a municipality that deals with snow removal, very important that you save thousands of dollars making better decisions around the weather. We're here for you.